Initially, the term Chicano was a derogatory term from Mexico that meant somebody that left Mexico, perhaps, or is of Mexican descent, now living in the United States, that it meant you weren't truly Mexican. We took that term and turned it on its head. And it wasn't until the Chicano movement that we identified ourselves.
When a community decides from their own standpoint of what their label is, I think that's a different thing. It can be an empowering thing. Those who label themselves as Chicano, I think that is the idea of creating one's own identity out of a shared experience.
There's some people who still don't agree or understand the concept of Chicano, but what it really means is a person who has pride and dignity and is becoming self-actualized and understands their history and where they've been and where they want to take their families and take our communities and take this nation.
To be Chicano didn't mean like the term now Hispanic or Hispano. It wasn't just like this term that you spoke Spanish. It was about political consciousness. It was about activism and acting.
Many Mexican Americans in Colorado had essentially adopted the policy of avoiding trouble. Let's assimilate as much as we can. Let's not call ourselves Mexican Americans. Let's call ourselves Hispanos and emphasize the Spanish side of this. Let's make sure that we speak English. Let's not be different. In the 1950s and the 1960s, the Chicano movement revived cultural pride in being Mexican, in being Indian, in speaking Spanish, in having a very rich and deep history.